Ascension Messages. Questions and answers, what the Federation does not want you to know.
Question. I am trying to understand and process all the information you have been sharing throughout all of these messages. My question is, how to fully understand all of the traps and tests for humanity, with what we as an individual and collectively experience?
Answer. In actuality, there is no living reality. How you get the memory is not important, nor whether it is an implanted memory or an experienced memory, as they are one of the same thing. For you, as the experiencer, it amounts to the same thing, whether living and experiencing an event, or having one implanted, there is no difference, it is just an experience to grow from.
Question. What is an implanted experience, and why live life if an implanted experience has the same value as a life that is actually experienced?
Answer. You are at this moment in an immersion pod in 5D having this 3D experience. Technology or not, you are always living implanted experiences, there is no living reality, it does not exist as such, and that is reality. Implanted in a machine in Tema, or by intervention of your timeless soul, your higher self, you are continually planning your experience as you journey, creating your experience moment by moment. You have unlimited interactive choices, free will choices or not. A memory is a memory, and it is certainly not important from where it originates. The basic characteristic of the higher realms or densities is the manifestation of thought. All you have to do is think it, and it is made manifest. The higher the density, the manifestation gets easier and easier. To make an implant from the higher densities into whoever or whatever becomes easier and easier. You just have to think it, wish it, and you just have to plan it. You may decide in 5D that day by day you decide to make it harder this day than the day before, with your avatar in 3D. In other words, let's make my avatar experience, say, more separation from source and deal with a health crisis. No, make it part of a pandemic. Or even stronger, let's make it a false pandemic. This should make it more interesting because he is awake and feels compelled to communicate this to all others against all odds. This is the way it is at your 3D reality, because at your higher density, you just think the thoughts and they are your implant. You may choose to give your lower self a background, a false implanted background life, and this false experience is implanted because you say so. From the higher densities, you understand so much more, you can form matter and play with time. So the immersion machines, holographic pods and these technologies are obsolete in higher realities. Consciousness is everything. It really is. It creates a flow of energy because that is what you are, pure high-frequency energy, and wherever you look, your attention flows and you interpret things the way you want. This is attention direction, and whatever you are imagining, is gravity. Your thoughts have a shape, a dynamic and precise shape, and that means that there is less energy in one place than another. This order of thoughts is so perfectly formed, that it creates a flow of energy in the field, and the field is you and your gravity attention flux. The direction of order in this flow of creative thought is manifested by whatever you are choosing to look at. This is the harmonics of a frequency that we shared with you before. You are the field. You are the everything. You are energy, the energy that everything is born from, your emotions and feelings, what you like and what you dislike, what drives you to create something and not something else. You build everything in your mind, and this will reflect in these lower densities. You print reality this way, because you want to, it makes you smile.
Question. Then why don't many souls smile with their chosen experiences while in 3D?
Answer. Sometimes it is just because it has never been done this way, although it may have been or very close to the same experience. So, this variant may become very interesting. And this is why it is a game. It is what you decide and you make it this way. From the higher densities, it is all set and done, destiny written. However, from the lower densities, you make things up as you go. So, you do have free will and no free will at the same time. Whatever your avatar wants, it experiences, this is free will. However, from above, you have already considered all the possibilities of what you can do at each moment. You have designed them all, because you can handle that amount of data. From a higher density, you are always interfering a lot, to the point of being totally in control over your lower avatar. However, at the very same time, from the lower density perspective of your lower avatar, where things are simpler with less information, like in 3D or even in 5D, then your lower self has total free will. There are an infinite amount of possibilities to follow. Your lower self is subject to other rules or agreements that you also imposed onto you at that density. So, even though theoretically, you have an infinite amount of possibilities, you can choose a different course of action. You are limited to choices that are governed by these former agreements and levels of density, including things like gravity, not being able to walk on water, having to use doors and not walk through walls, also not being able to transport yourself to other locations in the etheric, etc. From the perspective of the lower self, you are living in your reality with all of these limitations, and from the more expanded self, this is just all a game that you can change at any time, and this can be real at a higher density or not, at will. This is not sick, it is a process for your avatar to experience and grow through, as your avatar does suffer through some experiences. Here we come to a conflict of interests that come from different density points of view. However, from above, it is not just letting something happen, because it is not happening, it is just a concept. It is only happening from your avatar's point of view. The simple fact that this concept exists is enough for it to happen. As you create the concept that it is not fair that it is happening, you create it, making it happen. It means that from above, you have all the control of where you want to place your attention. The action falls onto the attention of your avatar who is living the experience.
Question. Why not just learn as we experience without having to have implanted memories, or even being in an immersion pod for the experience?
Answer. To be able to live anything, you need a reference point for everything that will exist in that lifetime, or you will simply not know how to relate to things in that reality, you will not know what most things are. You do learn as you go, even a baby does this. However, this is not enough to live the life plan you designed before incarnating. You need much more time than one incarnation to learn what you need to know in one life. So, you load into your awareness experiences to equip you with the data to experience what you have designed for yourself before the incarnation. There are many people who only learn through what they are experiencing in one lifetime that is socially accepted on Earth, and these are the unreal ones. They are the props, so to speak, upon the stage of your experience. Simple people with uninteresting lives, living day by day with nothing worthwhile going on in their heads or their lives, for example, having no real creative talents. You load experiences you require before you come into your avatar body. They are what past lives are for. You as a soul do not jump from being a debt serf with no creative thoughts into an ascended master, instead you build your soul as you journey from the point of view of your lower incarnation, loaded with downloaded experiences that are implanted into your consciousness. You then grow and evolve through both experiences, real and unreal. You build yourself as you go along, implanting things, helping you jump a few things as you experience from the lower points of view. Past lives are what you build your soul with, as are your experiences in that incarnation, in that present life experience. From your higher self point of view, these are implants that you design your avatar's life through thought. Remember, this understanding is coming from the multi-layers of consciousness. In the end, nothing is real. You have experienced nothing, it is only an idea, in the higher self's mind. A fantasy if you like, a novel created, because you can. Everything from a higher point of view is false, however, not from the lower point of view, it is real as you experience and live it.
Question. Do you mean that I can change the matrix, and just step out of the experience from my avatar's perspective, and no longer be trapped in this 3D experience?
Answer. If you want the matrix to continue as it is, and you are conservative, and you want an invasion, then things should be as they are, and have been, with no ET contact, and not knowing things that you should not know. Some people are trapped in their own creation, but that is up to them to find their own way out of their problems. Nothing is real. It is just a manifestation of your mind. From your point of view, everything you have experienced is real, and from another point of view, some things are real and some things are implanted experiences, and from another point of view, nothing is real. It is your task to understand what is real and what is not. Tawana, Tawa, adventure with joy, with all its multiple meanings.